For my final project, I wanted to showcase how I could use 5-photo stories in my classroom. I was really excited to try this out with my students after having done one sample project myself. For organizational purposes, after our discussion in class, I decided it would be a great idea to start off with a storyboard. I found a form online that had 6 blanks with spots for students to put a storyboard and also to put some of the text that they wanted to use for their narration. This proved to be a great technique. I was able to work with the students after they had written their storyboards, before they started taking their pictures, to kind of develop their ideas and also work on some editing skills. One problem I discovered with my initial storyboard form was that, while it was a great idea, it was difficult for some groups to work on one piece of paper when there were 2 or 3 students in a group. As a result, I created a second storyboard form, well, a set of storyboard forms which were smaller and separate. They were quarter sheets. On these forms, the students could mix and match their components and put their story together as they wanted it. This proved extremely successful for some groups that wanted to work independently on development, but then come together collaboratively when it came to assembling their project. The basis of the project that I assigned my students was to create a how-to video for some of our classroom routines. I thought this would be a great idea since they are familiar with the subject matter, and it would be extremely useful when it came to setting up my class for the next year. Setting up my class and setting up future 5-photo stories. The students got to work quickly. After meeting with me to discuss their completed storyboards, they went on to take their pictures. They worked hard to set these up using their storyboard drawings as a guideline. As you can see, it is Montana and it is winter, so when several of the groups asked me if they could do their how-to stories on rules and procedures outside on the playground, we had to sit down together and come up with some ideas for keeping the iPads safe and secure while they took their pictures outside. Our discussion proved to be an unmitigated success. They came back in with some very good shots that they could use in putting their projects together. After all of our great preparatory work, the next step was to come inside and begin working and explain everything. First, the students organized their work in iPhoto into an album, and then they imported those albums into the app. This was great. They were able to get the pictures in the exact sequence they wanted. Then they worked on recording the audio in a more quiet, controlled environment. This was a perfect setup for them. They used the scripts that they had in their 5-photo storyboards. Sometimes after a little editing when they took their pictures, they asked if they could add more details, which I thought was great. It was the perfect opportunity to expand stories, and for some of them who haven't been great about adding a lot of details, their ideas really took off once they started taking those pictures. All in all, our experience with Explain Everything was fantastic. We had a fun viewing party after we'd uploaded to YouTube and I'd posted the videos on my website. A great time reviewing some of our rules and procedures, and now those things are also available for parents and future students online. Thank you very much.